First and foremost, before we get started, I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rikah Kwadash, and double honors to those great millstone, while unto truth, and also to those elect that is scattered abroad. I like to say, Shalom. Come back here today with another great, powerful lesson through the spirit and the power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And the type of day lesson is, through his policies, he shall destroy many. So I like to say shalom to all our listeners and learners. Hope this will help you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. So before we start today, let's have a quick news article here by Business Insider. And it reads that Trump unveils his double-digit Liberation Day reciprocal tariffs on China, Taiwan, and a slew of other key trading partners. Let's get a little bit more. It said Trump announced a range of new tariffs on April the 2nd. It said his so-called Liberation Day, or Make America Great Again. It said he signed an executive order to impose reciprocal tariffs and a 25% tariff on car imports. Some economists warn that uncertainties around the tariffs could strain consumer and businesses. Let's get a little bit more. It said President Donald Trump highly anticipate new round of tariffs, said is here, and it could mean increased prices on a range of goods Americans reality on. Let's see what here rely on Salakia. So we seeing, man, that this right here is going to cause a lot of things like hyperinflation, a recession, also economic collapse, a stock market collapse. We already know that the food prices is going up. We already know about the eggs, how high the eggs is. So right now it's going to cause a lot of disruption. So when you go into that word receptacle, we're going to come right back to this report. When you go to that word receptacle, it says here, so you get a little bit thing of receptacle tariffs. It says here, receptacle tariffs, it's a situation where one country imposes tariffs on another goods and the other country responds with similar tariffs. So it means that same thing that Donald Trump is doing to these other countries, they can do the same damn thing to them. So that's pretty much what it's saying. So we're seeing right now that these things gonna constantly pick up. It's gonna constantly increase. It's gonna get worse and worse. So the sown places is gonna become unsown. Also, we're seeing about a lot of people are constantly being unemployed. People are losing their job, and also we're seeing a lot of major companies, retail stores, restaurant, grocery stores, and so forth, are closing their doors left and right. So we seeing right now, we America is on the decline. Let's get a little bit more of this report. It says on Wednesday, Trump signed an executive order announcing reciprocal tariffs on all countries said that have placed tariffs. Salakia jumping on me, Salakia. Every time I start, let's say that have placed tariffs on U.S. goods, said these tariffs fall on Trump's so-called Liberation Day, said which the president has been taunting for weeks as the days when his expansive trade plan would drop. So this right here gonna cause a lot of things. We already know that this nation are rising against nation. We seeing right now. Right now this place is very divided. Also we seeing that we're having a lot of disruption, in the supply chain line. Also, we know there's going to be a lot of high price with food, which in fact I told you again about the eggs, the dairy, and I think, the poultry, and also the beef product and pork, which in fact we don't give a damn about no pork. But one thing about it that, we're seeing that we're here, high price, hyperinflation, job loss. You know what I'm saying? Also, these companies are shutting down once again. And also, we know that the U.S. dollar is on a decline. You know, the end of the dollar is the end of America. You know, right now we coming upon a great crashing in the hill, a stock market crash. So a lot of these things, you know, it's going to cause a ripple effect. It's going to cause a lot of uncertainties. A lot of people are very right now thinking that, you know, hey, this man is taking us a point of no limit, you know. So we seeing right now that these things are going to be very critical, you know, food shortage, rolling blackouts, a lot of things that get ready to happen right before our eyes, you know, we constantly warning you left and right. See what else he says here. It's April the 2nd, 2025 said will forever be remembered as the day American industry was reborn, said the day America destiny with reclaimed, and the day that we begin to make America wealthy again. Trump said during Wednesday remarks. Wow. So this man is constantly, you know what I'm saying, he's constantly putting these different policies, these laws, these plans into place, you know, and that's what we constantly seeing left and right. That, you know, that's why I titled today's lesson, you know, through his policies, through his philosophy, through his democracy, you know, he shall destroy many. You know, that's what we constantly warning left. You know, we seeing that these things are happening left and right. So we already know that he's coming with these unrighteous decrees that he had authorized or prescribed. So, you know, very grievousness, you know, saying these draconian laws left and right he putting into place, you know. So he announced this today. So now these nations, these other nations that he put these tariffs on, they're getting ready to retaliate. So we already know that it's going to be bad for us. You know, he talking about making it better. You know, it's going to be just a little bump in the road. You might see a little disruption here and there, but it's going to smooth out. But one thing about it, he's constantly, they already knowing that Donald Trump is constantly running this country into the ground, constantly dismantling the government, you know, taking this place apart brick by brick, but it's all through the spirit and the power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Let's read the title again. It said, Trump unveils his double-digit liberation day, or Make America Great Again, receptacle tariffs on China, Taiwan, and a slew of other key trading partners. So this man right here is the cruel Lord, you know what I'm saying? No doubt in my mind, you know what I'm saying? This came out today. So, you know, one thing behind another, you know, so it could be a black swan event. You know, these things are constantly taking place left and right. Let's go here and get this first quick precept, and we'll start today's video. It says here, Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 1, it said, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, that they right grievousness which they have prescribed. So one thing about when you go into that word decree, goes into a law, you know, it goes into a mandate that they are constantly trying to bring forth. And one thing about it said, woe to him, you know what, you know, destruction. So we see it right now that this man is constantly signing away these executive orders. We already know this is going to cause a disruption in the supply chain, and also hyperinflation. You know, the prices are going to go through the roof. And also a lot of people right now becoming unemployed. So we already know that the stage is set, all things are ready. You know what I'm saying? Sedition, you know, insurrection, you know, when all these things take place, you know, when people can't eat, you know, they can't get their supplies, they can't go on with their daily life like they want to, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people right now are very angry. We're seeing that America is divided. You know, if a nation is divided, cannot stand. So now, let's go here to today's video. And after the video, we'll start the lesson. And I hope that you will get edified.
Do have breaking news right now out of Washington, D.C., where President Trump just announced sweeping new tariffs on practically all goods coming into the United States.
And Colleen, it's a dramatic shift in global trade and economic policy. Eyewitness News reporter Carlos Granda joining us live in the newsroom with details. And Carlos, how this might impact what we all pay for products.
Absolutely, Mark and Colleen. The president today signed this executive order imposing reciprocal tariffs. Now, the administration says these new tariffs will boost U.S. manufacturing and punish other countries for years of unfair trade practices. But a number of economists say it's a risky move that could raise prices for consumers. He's calling it Liberation Day. President Trump sees the new tariffs as a way to get back at major trading partners and also bring back manufacturing.
Our country and its taxpayers have been ripped off for more than 50 years but it is not going to happen anymore.
Trump announced a 10% baseline tariff on all countries, and beyond that, he's imposing reciprocal tariffs on what he calls the worst offenders, and that is roughly 60 countries.
Reciprocal tariffs on countries throughout the world. Reciprocal. That means they do it to us and we do it to them. Very simple. Can't get any simpler than that.
At the ports of Los Angeles and Long Beach today, cargo is moving. The big question is, what will happen now? Many experts say this will drive up prices. The cost of everyday goods like appliances, groceries, clothing, and cars are all projected to increase.
They are a tax on families. They don't like taxes. This is one of the worst taxes they could put in.
Several trading partners, including the European Union and Canada, have vowed their own retaliatory tariffs. Trump also announced a 25% tariff on auto imports begins at midnight. That will likely apply to cargo already at sea.
Even if it's shipped before the tariff goes into effect, but happens to arrive after the tariff goes into effect, then it could be assessed for a tariff.
Just about every car, even American-made ones, rely on materials from other countries. By one estimate, a new vehicle is expected to cost at least $6,000 more by this time next year. The United Auto Workers Union supports these tariffs. Democratic Representative Debbie Dingell from Michigan says it could help the U.S. auto industry.
I want to work with this administration. I think trades are very important. Tariffs are a very important tool in the trade toolbox, but we got to do it in a way where we're supporting it with good common sense other industrial policy.
Now, the reciprocal tariffs go into effect April 9th at 12:01 a.m. Economists and others are trying to figure out the cost of these tariffs. No one knows for sure what will happen, but some say it could add more than $4,000 a year for the average household. Live in the newsroom, I'm Carlos Grande, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Throughout the world, there's a growing realization that the way to prosperity for all nations is rejecting protectionist legislation and promoting fair and free competition. Now, there are sound historical reasons for this. For those of us who lived through the Great Depression, the memory of the suffering it caused is deep and searing. And today, many economic analysts and historians argue that high tariff legislation passed back in that period, called the Smoot-Hawley Tariff, greatly deepened the Depression and prevented economic recovery. You see, at first, when someone says, let's impose tariffs on foreign imports, it looks like they're doing the patriotic thing by protecting American products and jobs. And sometimes for a short while it works, but only for a short time. What eventually occurs is, first, homegrown industries start relying on government protection in the form of high tariffs. They stop competing and stop making the innovative management and technological changes they need to succeed in world markets. And then, while all this is going on, something even worse occurs. High tariffs inevitably lead to retaliation by foreign countries and the triggering of fierce trade wars. The result is more and more tariffs, higher and higher trade barriers, and less competition. So soon, because of the prices made artificially high by tariffs that subsidize inefficiency and poor management, people stop buying. Then the worst happens. Markets shrink and collapse, businesses and industries shut down, and millions of people lose their jobs. The memory of all this occurring back in the 30s made me determined when I came to Washington to spare the American people the protectionist legislation that destroys prosperity. Now, it hasn't...
We have some big news right now. Countries across the world are preparing for massive retaliatory actions against the United States as early as today in response to Donald Trump's quote-unquote Liberation Day tariffs that he is expected to announce as soon as 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today. Here's what we know right now. China, Japan, and South Korea will respond in lockstep with one another against Trump's tariffs. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney announced that he would be retaliating against the United States with his own tariffs if Donald Trump pressed forward. Mexico's president had held a phone call with Canada's Prime Minister, likely to discuss a joint response as well yesterday. Before I continue, TikTok could be banned in 3 days, so be sure to follow me on my other platforms, Instagram, Substack, and YouTube, all linked in bio. The European Union has announced that it will respond in kind as a bloc with a, quote, strong plan to strike the United States with retaliatory actions. Get ready, folks. It's going to be a long day if Donald Trump announces tariffs because the international community is ready to fight back.
So we're seeing right now these unrighteous decrees. Let's read that again. It says here, Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 1, it said, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, that they write grievousness which they have prescribed or authorized. So right here, this man, these tariffs or these laws or this proposed action, this plan or his strategy, his philosophy, his democracy, so you already know what this is called. Nations are constantly are rising against nation, a great division. And one thing about it, we already know is this is going to cause new alliances against what America, Babylon the Great. So we already know it right now. This man is the cruel Lord, constantly bringing these things into play, left and right, these codes, this what system, what this guideline, what I'm saying? And one thing about it, he said, what? Let's read it in the NLT. It says, what sorrow awaits the unjust judges and those who issue unfair laws. So exactly what he's doing. He constantly raising up the prices on these imports. Like their car imports, their pretty much everything that we gets into America, like their liquor. He's putting taxes on everything that coming into America. They taxing, want to highly tax everything. Guess what? They're gonna highly tax everything. So it, who's winning? You know what I'm saying? One thing about it, we already know this is all by design and manufactured from the left-hand side, but it's all through the spirit and the power of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. This man is running this country into the ground, and guess what? We love it, because what? This is not our rest. So now, I just want to go back there and hit a few more key points on that one right there. Let's go here to, Second Ezra chapter 6. We're going to go straight to the point, just rolling in the spirit. I just seen this one too again. And it's so many. I mean, man, I'm telling you, these prophecies are speaking, man. So many things is so very prophetic. Every time when you look around, man, something, you just put a scripture with it, just like the Bible said, man, these, man, I'm telling you, the truth is being declared. I'm so very excited. Cause we're almost out of here. 2 Ezra chapter 6 and verse 22. It said, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, and the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. So exactly what's getting ready to happen right now. People still eating good right now. Still, are going on with their daily life. But guess what? Things are happening around you at a fast pace. People are losing their jobs. You know what I'm saying? We're seeing that these a lot of these major companies are closing their doors. So we're seeing right now. Also, we're seeing there's a lot of uncertainties. A lot of people are afraid. You know what I'm saying? The sown place getting ready to be unsown. So one day when you wake up, you ain't gonna be able to go to Walmart. You won't be able to go to Walgreens because a lot of these places are closing their doors and stuff. We're seeing it left and right. So we already know this is gonna cause a lot of rioting, a lot of sedition, civil unrest, civil war. So that's exactly what's going to cause. And when people cannot eat and they can't get their medical supplies or their quick fix, you understand what I'm saying? That sorcery, you know what I'm saying? You don't talk about those sorcery, what I'm talking about, and so when they can't get that, we already know that all hell is going to break loose. And also we know that the Lord is constantly breaking the staff of bread. So it's going to be a great crash in the hill. So we seen in the second video, former President Ronald Reagan, he was talking about those tariffs and what happened back in the Great Depression. You know what I'm saying? So one thing about it, we know about the depression in I think it was 1930 from 29 to 32, and then another one was in 08. And now this one here is going to be far exceed all of them. So because this place is on a sharp decline. America is falling. And will not ever get back up again. So we already know that the sown place is gonna become unsown. No jobs. No restaurants, no retail stores, because they all closing down. We already know that AI is taking over, coming into a new digital infrastructure. A lot of things is happening, and in 11 minutes comes to the waxing cold too. So a lot of things are happening left and right. So let's read it once again. 2 Ezra chapter 6 and verse 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, and the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. So one thing about it, storehouses like what your favorite grocery store, Walmart, different places. places like that where you go get your favorite items, your merchandise, your everyday living. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna come to a complete halt. Just like I said, food shortage. You know what I'm saying? Gonna call what starvation. A lot of things are getting ready to happen. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are going to be troubled. You know what I'm saying? For the lack of bread and in great tribulation. So now let's go here to Daniel chapter 8, and we'll get probably one or two more. Not meant to be a long lesson tonight. Let's go here back to the blue letter, Salakia. Daniel chapter 8, and verse 25. One thing about it, we got to keep pushing. The Lord said the same didn't endure, the same shall be saved. We almost out of here. We got to keep, we got to stay prayed up. We got to keep, our eyes on the prize, which in fact is the kingdom of heaven that dwells in right just a little more. And the Lord is getting ready to show up, man. We are very excited. Daniel chapter 8 and verse 25, it said, and though his policies, and Salakia, Daniel chapter 8 and verse 25, and through his policies also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart. And by peace shall destroy many, and he shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hands. And out of the body, that's exactly what getting ready to happen. Lord's getting ready to return and destroy this man. And one thing about it, by his deception, by his policy, by his his plan, by his strategies, his philosophy, by his democracy, these things are coming, his influence, that he's trying to put over on the American people, to make America great again. Talking about Liberation Day. It's not going to be in it. It's going to be a Liberation Day, but not for these heathens. It's going to be Liberation Day for what? Yasharallah, Prince of the Power. Lord's getting ready to come to deliver us. That's right. That's spiritual too. Liberation Day for us. You know what I'm saying? The Lord is getting ready to come to deliver us with great glory and great power. So, by his policy, by his program, by his code, by his system, by his guideline, this man is getting ready to destroy many, because out of the body, this is going to be like order out of chaos, hyperinflation once again. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things are getting ready. Food, prices of food is going up, water is going up, gas prices are going up left and right. Also, these vehicles, are going up. Everything that you look around, everything is constantly going up. Talking about making America great again. The only thing he's going to do is make America great for destruction. You know what I'm saying? That's where we at right now. So we seeing right now, any given time, all hell could break loose. So that's where we at there, by this man policy, by his deception, by he constantly trying to be the one, constantly magnifying himself, constantly talking in great pride, speaking great words against Yahweh by Shema, but he's in for a rude awakening. That's why it says at the end down here, it said, but he shall be broken without hands. That's what our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, he's getting ready to return, take this man, out of power. We cannot wait. So we're seeing these things are happening left and right. This man now talking about these tariffs. So this is going to cause more problems. So let's go here, that great division that we're seeing. So let's go to Matthew chapter 12. The nations is divided. You know what I'm saying? Right now, a lot of like Canada, Mexico, even at some point, what's this other country I'm trying to think about? Greenland, there was one, at some point they was at peace with America. Now, everything is all up in the air. New alliances is getting ready to take place against America. Babylon the great whore that sits on many waters. So let's get down and talk long enough. Let's go here to Matthew chapter 12. Matthew chapter 12, and we'll get one more, we'll close out. Matthew chapter 12 and verse, I think it's around verse 25. Matthew chapter 12. Let's see, Matthew chapter 12 and verse 25. Salakia. We get there in a minute. Get one more, we'll close out. This is it right here. That's the spirit. Matthew chapter 12 and verse 25 said, and Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. So exactly what we're seeing right now. We're seeing that, that this place is divided. And one thing about it, we know that it's going to be brought to what? Desolation. It cannot stand. We're seeing it left and right. We seeing that the American people are against one another. So that's why the Lord is setting the Egyptian against the Egyptian, the white man against the white man, American against American, and so forth and so forth. Civil unrest, civil war. You know what I'm saying? It's right here. Tension is constantly what? Increasing. Verse 26, and if Satan casts out Satan, say he is divided against himself, how shall then his kingdom stand? It will not stand. And one thing about it, we were at the time of this, this place is getting ready to fall. This place is what is finished. So we already know the physical counterpart of Satan to do the bidding. The bidding of Satan is what the so-called white man. We're seeing right now that he's constantly one thing behind another, constantly putting tabs here, tabs over there, and one thing he think he's bringing forth a solution, but he constantly causing problems left and right, order out of chaos. That's what they want to do, keep this chaos going left and right. Read this once again. Verse 26 said, and if Satan casts out Satan, that's what we're seeing right now, say he is divided. That's right. This place is very divided against itself. So how shall then his kingdom stand? So we already know that, this place is constantly what? A circling the drain. America is falling and it will not ever get back up again. So now let's go to our last and final script. Let's go here to Job. Let's go here to Job. Job chapter 20. We'll close out in Job. Job chapter 20. So we see that he's in the fullness of his sufficiency. You know that he's getting ready to fill his belly, to go ahead and try to put it into place. But one thing about it, we already know that, the Lord is getting ready to cut him off. Job chapter 20 and verse 22, if I'm not mistaken. Here it is right here. It says, Job chapter 20 and verse 22, it says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. So that's exactly what we're seeing. Them straits goes into all sorts of level of adversity, all sorts of troubles he's getting ready to run into, left and right. Things are not going to work out for him, So, the one that was laborers with him or allies with him are getting ready to turn against him. We slowly seeing that these nations, all across the world are constantly turning on the whore that sits on many water. Revelation chapter 17, verse 23 said, and when he is about to fill his belly, the Almighty shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. Just like he said, Liberation Day, he's trying to the devil's getting ready to fill his belly, his agenda, his plan, constantly bringing these policies, these unrighteous decrees, these laws, these tabs, so forth and so forth. He constantly bringing these things, talking about we're going to be great again. Our economy is going to be back strong again. One thing about this man is at the end. You know what I'm saying? He got bounds that he cannot pass. And one thing about the Lord is getting ready to cast the fear of his wrath upon him. He said, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating, while he's right now setting the stage. All things are ready, and the Lord's getting ready to take him out of the way. I'm telling you, man, we're living in some very exciting time. You know what I'm saying? One thing about it, we're going to constantly keep the faith. We're going to constantly pray without ceasing. We're going to lean not on our understanding. We're going to lean not on our own understanding, but we're going to trust and believe in Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua. The Lord is getting ready to return. Man, we cannot wait. So now, the title of today's lesson, once again, is through his policy, he shall destroy many. So I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua, Ba'ashim Rikah Kwadash. I like to say, Shalom, Kwam Yasarala, Shalom.